Okay, we got the cable mocked up now. Looks like we're a little bit high through here, so we need to shorten up just a little bit, not a lot. You can see how the fork lock is right down against it here. Comes down and nails it right on the side, but doesn't kiss it. You see how we got a little bit of a gap through here, a little bit extra material. So the fork stop comes around, the cable rolls up a little bit, and it just goes. Just slightly taps it right there, but does not pinch it into the frame. You cannot have it pinching against the frame. So this part of the cable is good. We're a little bit high here, so just no matter how much too high are we up here. Is that a ½ inch or an inch? Hard to tell. I got the guide block right here holding it there. So that's how you do it. You gotta figure out what you want and make it work. This cable here, I like to cut that back right there to get it go inside of the house here. That's a little bit on the long side, so I can probably shorten that up about a 1/16. So I'll probably shorten it up from that end. Well, I know I'm going to shorten up from that end because this one has the piece on it we need. Now this is also going to go up, extend up when we make it, so it's going to get a little bit longer yet. Now it's just a matter of how much too much length do we think we have. That's what it comes down to. So we have to figure that out. Then we go cut it. Then after we do that, then we get to wrap this up around our lever that dropped down in here. That piece right there, that has to be wrapped around that. So I have to figure out how long that's going to be too. Lots of things to work at. What are you doing, Scooby? I'm looking for that rat. That rat over here. Where's that rat? Where's he at? Is he back there now? Is he back there in that corner? Oh, there he is. Get him. Is he in there? He's having fun. He's rat hunting. He's just in there digging through everything right now. He's a rat hound. Oh, look at the dog in there. Yeah, there's a dog up under there. Look at that dog. He's having fun digging through everything. He's making a big mess. That's what dogs are for, making messes. Oh, he got stuck in there. Scooby's big enough, he don't care if he gets stuck. He'll just rip in shreds and get out anyway. Okay, so now we got to figure out too much length we have. So I'm going to pull this out. Now that I want the cable to disengage, it probably won't. It's been doing it all night long on its own, but there we go. Okay, so now we put this over here. Of course, I'm using the wrong hand right now. So we got to determine how much length do we not want to do. So it looks to me like we're only maybe an inch different here at most. So yeah, you can take an 1.5 inches maybe. There's 2 inches right there. So you look at your length that way. Or this way, we're still good. We got a couple of inches in here like that. We know it's going to come up on the other end. We adjust it. Let's go 3 inches. See what 3 inches looks like. Okay, there's 3 inches. See, it's shorter than this one now. We have 3 inches. It's close. But that's still going to adjust up down there. We just don't know how much though. And we're maxed out right here, whereas the other one, see, it's not maxed out. It's way over there. So I think we're going to take 2 inches out of this. Should be plenty. We don't want any more than 2 inches. We're going to make it too short, I think. And even a 2 inch might be too short. So we can cut it once, 1.5 inches, or we cut it twice, 2 inches, or we just cut it right 2 inches to begin with. The hell with it if it's too short. That's probably what we're going to do. We're just going to whack it. Okay, so let me come over here. Let me pull all of this stuff out. Now something just got pinched. The cable just got pinched up there. There we go. You have to have it tied up. Okay, so we're going to pull this out. We need a tripod. I need all my hands to work around here. Tripod shots don't show squat, but everybody seems to like them for some reason. I sure don't like them. We'll see what you think, because we're not going to be doing... I got to use both hands on this job. I can't do everything with one hand. Okay, there's our washer. Our screw. And it goes down this way. There we go. Now don't forget to pull out the inner cable before you cut it. I'm down here now too, so if you forgot to pull out the inner cable when you cut it, it will be too short. Guaranteed. Okay, slide that off. Alright, let's go do a little cutting, and we don't want to have that much hanging out either. So we got all kinds of stuff to play with. Scooby disappeared. There's Scooby. What's Scooby looking at? What do you got? Is there a rat under there? Where's that rat? Oh, he's going back. He's going back in there. Look at that. Get a butt shot. Get him! Go get him! Where'd he go? He just likes rolling across them Harley wheels. Okay, we're going to put this over here so you can see my back real good. Okay, you got to figure out what you want to cut and make a little trim. We're going to use this one here. So that leaves a fairly clean cut. Not quite straight though. Some dumbass didn't do it right. Gotta watch out for them dumbasses. So I'm gonna go over here and straighten it up a little bit. Not quite straight. A little more it will be. Yeah. Looks good. So now we got to cut off the little excess. I use it on my pocket knife. It's good for something. If you don't cut this off, you can't get the damn thing in there, so don't cut yourself either. That defeats the purpose. Go down until you feel it touching. Okay, try to pull it up. That camera's a little loose. Was that a trick shot? That was the fading camera shot. Looks just about the same length as I did before. It fell off. Yeah, it's a little long on the one side. Somebody didn't cut it straight. It's hard to get good help these days. Okay, now we gotta blow this off. We don't want none of that onion grit inside our cable. Because these have a nylon liner and they don't have any no lubricant they put in them. It's a graphite coated piece of yellow plastic, it looks like to me. That'd be my guess anyway. So anyway, we go over here and we blow this thing off right here. Nice and clean. Let me see if it fits. And there's the race bike. All cleaned up from racing. Had to clean the fuel out of the fuel system yesterday. That was fun. Okay, so now we get to hook all of this back up in the reverse order that we took it off. So this here comes in from the top. Just getting frayed. There we go. I think we're too far that way. There you go. A better view, maybe. Okay, that'll work. Take our clamp. Or screw on the clamp. We stick a washer between the clamp and the fender so it doesn't eat up the paint. So it gives you one washer of clearance. Use a straight blade because it looks better. Yeah, get rid of the cable, it makes it easier to hook up. Alright. There you go. There. You getting tired, Scooby? Okay, that's all in. Okay, now we go on the other side and hook it up. Go up there. What are you doing, Scooby? Alright. Yeah, you piece of crap. There it goes. He's a nice rounded out Allen. This is going to get switched out to a bolt here in about 2 seconds. Keep screwing with my head. Not to mention what it's doing to my Allen wrench. It's killing it. Okay, there's that. Barely fits. Looks too short to me. We'll probably gain a little bit on the bottom though. Okay, so you make sure it works by holding on to it. Okay. Now for the fun part over here. You get to get this cable connected in here. That can be fun. Of course, then you got to cut it off somehow. That'll be even more fun. Okay, so we got to do now is figure out how much cable length we need. And we got to bend it. We've only got so much screw over here to adjust up, so if we get too much free play in it, you can't adjust it up. So usually what I do is I just kind of hold it over where I want it to be. You take your pair of pliers, you grab a hold of that sucker, you give it a big twist. You have to figure out where you want it to be. Somewhere in that area there is where I want it to be. Okay, once you figure out where you want the area to be, then you set a sucker around. Get it as tight as you can. Backwards on itself is just fine. Then you get the lever back up. If you're lucky, it fits in there just like that. I don't know if you can even see in there, but anyway, it's right there along the edge there. So I got to bend a little bit tighter than this. It's got kind of like a J bend to it right now, but this is right where I want it to be, is where the hook part is. So this here I want to be straight, this I want to be bent. So right now we got a twist in it because that's how I bent it. Didn't have good access to it. So I use a couple pair of pliers to get a little more official grunt to it. Okay, 2 pairs of pliers. I'm going to try to get the twist out of it and bend it. First thing you do is get the twist out a little bit. Then I figure we're going to bend it down further. see how it's unwinding on us here? Gotta wind that back up. If you don't keep it wound up, it'll permanently stay unwound. Now we're going to cut off most of this, so it doesn't matter, but we do want it to be wound up where we're working at, so keep it that way to begin with. Okay, it's going to bend around the bolt. So make sure you can kind of get it around where you need to be. You have to blow it up a little bit so you can see in there. So it's going to go around the bolt like that. Okay, that's probably enough that I can get to it. So now we're going to take the adjuster, which is buried up under here. I can't get to it right now. Okay, stick that sucker up in there like that. Okay, somehow I gained extra height I didn't really need. So that's more adjuster I got to take up, so I don't really like that. So I need to get more of a bend right there. The adjuster goes on there like that, so probably what I need to do is a pair of needle nose. Have every plier I own out here pretty soon. Okay, you want something basically like the size of the bolt you're going to use. So go ahead and get it like this. Hold that end and bend it some more. Okay, I got more of a curl to it now. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, that time we're a little bit tighter now. Here it's scooting across it. So now, you can hold that around like that. You can take your little clip here, little triangle clip, stick it in there. And it should go on there no problem if you got it all lined up right. Okay, it appears like I got it in there pretty good where it needs to be. Okay, there's a little nut right here. Try to get the nut to start. There we go. You want to keep it tight in there because that way it'll pull in like it's supposed to. And keep the cables kind of overlapped a little bit. If you do it right, it'll pull itself in, but if it doesn't go in the right spot, it won't work right. So right now it's not quite where it belongs. So I have to twist it a little bit to get where I want it to be. There's no way you can see this with a video camera over here. Okay, so see how the bracket's sticking straight up right where my finger is, and this is pointed over here. It needs to be pointed this angle. So the cable's there. Now I don't know if the cable is pushed down behind the bracket on this side, which it could be. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put my pliers on here and rotate it to line it up, and then I can tighten it up further. I might have to loosen it up a little bit to get to line up. We'll see. That looks good. Tighten up easily without forcing it. If you don't have to force it down, that's a good sign. So now it looks like it's in there pretty good. So I'm not quite at full torque. I'm just barely, I basically run down until it touched. So you can see how it pulled back on itself where it belongs. It looks like the cable is up there where it belongs to. So I'm going to take the 1/4" ratchet right here. And we go ahead and put the grunt to it. About like that. So now that thing's in there pretty stout. It's lined up with it like it's supposed to be. It doesn't appear to be out of position. So that's a good sign. Now we need to cut off this excess, but not cut the one behind it. Now, I didn't want to pre-cut it because then I couldn't hold it together and tighten this up correctly. So now I got to take my worn out dice that actually still work pretty good, but they're old as God. And try to cut this heavy duty cable. That ought to be fun. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it does have to be cut. Can't have that long piece in there, it won't work. So we're going to go ahead and grunt and groan on this a little bit. And see what I can get off of here. Ah! It already attacked me and ain't done anything yet. Okay, you can have it stick up a little bit, but not a lot. Like I said, you want to make sure you don't cut the cable behind it. Doesn't appear to be wanting to cut at all. You ever heard of that phrase, divide and conquer? Okay, that's not going to go. Now, if we rewind this, pull down a couple strands, get some light over so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing for once. There, I can pull 3 at a time. Just unravel it and knock it down a little bit at a time. I got no place to put a light in this damn place. Get all the lights up above where I can't see. Camera light ain't doing nothing for me. This is just working in the dark. Cannot see a damn thing what I'm doing. I don't know why I can't get this to unscrew. There we go. Ooh. Something cut. Nothing fell off though, but it did cut. There's a couple of them. There's another one. Another one. It's a raveled up mess. That's because some are cut high, some are cut low. So I can't see where I'm cutting. Damn, this stuff. Whoa. Success. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not going to ever go back in line with where it belongs. These stragglers, we're going to have to cut them off so they don't ever hit on anything. Okay. Alright, so here's what I did. I just cut this one off because it was going in the housing. So I cut it off right up in here, but when you pull the brake lever up here, and look at what's going to happen down here. See how the adjuster's right there? You don't get that much room before you hit it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down another 1/2 inch down to here. I don't care if these all fray right in here, it doesn't matter, but we're going to try to cut those off. So I got no light where I'm at. Working in a dark hole over here. I can do to get more light. There's no place to get light around here. This camera's not helping at all. Here. If I move the camera down a little bit, it puts a little light in here. I can see. Look at that. Still can't see very well, but it's a start. A couple gone. Can't see a damn thing. Just got a couple at a time is all you can do. Boom. Damn. Doing like 3 of them. There we go. What a mess. Make sure there's no straggler pieces in there. Yeah, have to blow on a little bit with the airline. Alright. So now, that looks like it's pretty good. So now it's shortened up. Pull the brake up, we got a good inch of clearance there now. Still have to adjust the brake up a little bit. So there we go. And I can see a little bit of stragglers sitting in here. I think those might be scratches, I can't tell. So we get our airline over here. And we're going to go ahead and blow on it. And get the, make sure there's no piece of metal in here we don't want it. Piece of stainless wire inside of your brake is not good. Alright, I didn't see anything come out, so that's good. Doing Scooby. Okay, so the brake is put on there. I gotta find our brake drum. It disappeared. Somebody stole the brake drum. Imagine that. Wonder who did that. Let's see, it was around here someplace. Oh, there it is. Laying in the box. That looks like the part we needed. Look at that. Fits right on there like it's supposed to and everything. Before I poke myself with the stainless wire, I'm going to go ahead and clean up a few of these little pieces that are sitting here. At least the ones I can still see. You don't want to leave this stuff laying around, it'll come back and bite you. Make sure we get all the way. Looks good. Okay, 15 pairs of pliers in the way, get them out of the way while we're at it. Okay, there. I got room to work now. Tire around here someplace. Actually, it's called the wheel. There we go. You don't suppose this might be the last time we do this, do you? I think we're dreaming if I think that's the last one. There we go. Helps even get the bolt to start. How's that elbow shot? Like that elbow shot? There you go. Get a little higher, you can see better. Putting all 5 lugs in this time. Okay, they're lightly torqued, not much, or not torqued, but tightened. Okay. It's starting to go easier. Breaking in. Not dragging. Good sign. Okay, everything's loose right now. Works. Pull the brake lever. Oh, it doesn't even hit. Okay, so it appears we have a lot of slack in the system. So now I get to go over here. Need to work on some of that slack. So you do that by tightening these up here. So initially I just kind of pull it up. Yeah, this one won't let me do that too easily, so we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Use a wrench. Appears we've got at least a 1/2 inch of free play in here. Get the wheel spinning. So the wheel's spinning right now. Until it starts to drag. This is why I didn't leave much free play in the inner cable when I made it. Because you have no idea how much is going to go out. I hear it's hitting. Yeah, we're just starting to hit finally. Ooh, we got a brake. That's good. Okay, I jarred it a few times. Put a little light torque on that, not too much. Need to brake a few more times. Trying to get the backing plate to center itself where it wants to sit. If you tighten up too much, it won't ever turn. Okay, now we get this pivot tightened up. This is down to 5/8 right here, and I got to tighten this up while I get the brake on up there. So that's going to be a little bit harder to do because I can't even get back to here. I'm on the other side of the bike. Okay, reach around, figure out where the wrench is at, and tighten it up. Oh, that's hard on the back. The shoe's dragging a little bit. You gotta kind of wear themselves in. Excuse me. After you wear it in a little bit, you come back and readjust this again to get it more stable. Okay, that's tight. That's tight. Axle's still loose. Now me, I'd leave the stupid hubcap off. I think it looks better without it. Where's that ugly ass thing? There it is. So what do you think? Hubcap? No hubcap. So there's what the bike looks like without the hubcap. I like looking at it. Why do you put this big piece of crap up on there and you look at a big chrome bubble, or you look at a nice hub? Bubble, hub. I like hub. So if he wants that piece of crap on it, he can put it on himself. Or you have to tell me to do it later because I ain't doing it now. I think it looks like crap. I hate hubcaps. I like looking at the mechanics of the vehicle, not stupid hubcaps. Now, next thing you gotta do is you gotta get the front end squared up. So, when you tighten the front end, this can be anywhere it wants. It could be here, here, wherever. But if it's not dead straight with the fork legs up here, you have something called striction. It's called drag. And then the front end doesn't work too good. It also wears out the bushings. Now, if you keep repeatedly hitting the brake on and off, the shock will self-center it. Or you can just tap with a hammer lightly, just boom, 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 to free it up a little bit. Basically something like this here, just to kind of lightly get it to center itself up. So when you put the brake on, it kind of centers it up anyway. You just lightly torque them, kind of self-center. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the main axle now. Here. Alright. It's tight. Now you can put a cotter key in there if you want. If you're going to put a cotter key in it, you have to line a cotter key up. First you got to figure where the hell the cotter key is even at. Where the hole's at. I don't even see the hole. Wherever it is, it's not where I can see it, so that means it's underneath one of the flats. So that means you torque it some more. I already had it pretty tight to begin with. Keep torquing it, you strip the damn thing. There's the cotter keyhole, straight in there. Should go up a little bit more. See the damn thing. It's going to that side. covered. Oh well. I don't know why I can't see it. Pretty damn tight. Oh, there it is right there. Just coming into view. Strip it out to get it enough to put the damn clip in there. Okay, that one's where I can see it. That one is still where I can see it. Here's the old cotter key. Doesn't quite fit in the hole. Appears to be a little tight. Yeah, one's enough. Okay. I go back over here and retorque these down. Get a little more leverage. Well, you don't want to strip these out. Actually, we got to recenter it. See, I pulled the axle that way when I torqued it, so we have to recenter things. Okay. I'm going to do the trick. Half a turn, 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 half a turn. You look over here to see how close you are. A little more on this side. Okay. Getting tight. I'm going to go ahead and put the other torque wrench on it. Yeah, about that much torque. Good and tight. It looks so much better with all that crap on here. You can hear the spot where the brake's dragging. We have to take up some more on the brake though. Oop. Wheels in my way. There we go. Okay, we got a little tight spot right here. This is our tightest spot. It's right here where it's in. Tight right there. So we're going to loosen this up. On my hammer. Okay, get the brake to center again. I got the brake lever on. This time I come up over here where I get access to the damn thing. Okay, tighten up the brake on. Hear the difference? No drag, see? Because that time it's centered up in the correct spot. That's what you want it to be. See, unlike a disc brake bike, there's no drag right now. Look how nice that just spins and spins and spins. Disc brakes drag like crazy. Okay, now I'm going to tighten this up a little bit because we are a little bit too low. just starting to hit right there. So it went up another 1/8 of an inch. I should tighten the lever up quite a bit. Oh yeah. Get just a little bit more. They're going to wear in quite a bit, so you have to come back and adjust this stuff. Okay, now, I'm going to tighten this down here. Not a lot of tension, just a little bit. The main stuff you torque on these two here. These two nuts here are the ones you really want to torque down. Damn it. Just like that. You can actually snap this thing off by over torquing these, so you gotta be careful. Okay, so there's our brake. Go up here and tighten this down. That's tight. We're just working our way up the line here. All the stuff's got to get torqued again. Well, we never did check to make sure the front end was centered up pretty good. It could have been better. It's not quite centered. We'll see if he wants me to keep dicking with that thing or not. If he wants me to dick with it, I gotta take the wheel back off and center it up where it belongs. So if you look up on the sides there, you can see the gap on this side here. Got a nice finger up in here. I only got half a finger. So it needs to go this way 1/8 of an inch. Center it up in that finger. Now 1/8 of an inch on this wheel, you're never going to notice because it's flat this far across. You think you're going to notice 1/8 of an inch? Hell no. Ain't going to happen. You'll never feel it. But if he wants it to be centered up, we can do it. But it just takes more money and effort. Well, we'll see if he wants to or not. So up here on the top, I got to tighten up the last brackets up there. So you get up here on the very top of the bike. Do some work up there. Phillips right here. Find a sweet spot for the cable. I like it right here. These stupid Allens are horrible. What they're doing is rounding my wrench off, which is pissing me off. Yep. It's pretty much destroying my wrench. But it's tight. Tight-ish. It's not Tatro tight, but it's tight. We'll have to adjust these levers again once we get them on the bike where we want them to be. But for now, I need to adjust it over a little bit further. There. And we get back on the lever over here, we can get a hold of it. Put it about where I think it belongs for a normal rider. I'll show you how to adjust levers later, unless you want to know now. Oh, these screws suck. Okay, get the camera over here. Uh-oh, light went off. Ooh. Okay, so I got this about right here in this spot here. Just gives you a nice arc up into here without being too much of a bind here. I slid this all the way down to here, so it was way over here. That way when you put your hand on here to pull on it, you actually got your hand on the lever. instead of being like out here where you had, or you have to have your hand way up here. You're supposed to ride the bike back here. So slide it all the way over. Why be stupid? See, like this one over here, he's got the clutch. See how I did the clutch? He's barely against the clutch right here. You have to kind of got to go forward here because he's got this thing slid over right to here. You can come back another 1/8 of an inch, get back on the cable. Okay, now the cables kind of look sort of close, the arcs. So that's how you want it. This one here is a little bit more here than here, but that's okay. But the thing is, we got a nice good arc going here. It's not bending and binding. It's not twisting. It's not making a 30-degree bend right here, which will break the cable. And the important thing is, it's got a good brake. See? There, I was pulling pretty hard. That's my clutch arms. That's my brake arms here. Brake one's about as strong as the clutch one. So I'm about a 1/2 inch from all the way. So I'm not quite getting all the way to the bar, which is good. That's what you want. And this thing will probably work pretty good anyway. I'll put your hand in there. And there you go, you squeeze it and it stops. Alright, so that's how you do all your adjustments. I gotta put some air in this tire, so I'll get that here next. Front, we'll probably run about 32 in the front of this thing, is probably all we really need. The back, I'll probably run like 28 or something. Might bump it up a little bit, he's a big guy, so maybe run 34 in the front. You look at the wear of the tire, how it's wearing pretty evenly. Looks like a little bit lower in the front than the side. This feels like a little bit higher here than right here. So that means it's slightly underinflated for the size of the bike and everything. Yeah, we'll put 34 in it. Screw it. Alright, so that's what that looks like. So we got the front end more or less fixed up. You can see how that all works. Like I said, you gotta make sure it clears your fork stops up under here. You don't really get a good view of that yet, but it's very important that it does not ever get caught in here. So you see how the cable's being held away by this here. We're nowhere near the fork stop. We're not being held right here. If we were being held right here, we'd probably get pinched. Because see, as it goes over, it hits the frame right there. Then the fork starts coming to say hello. And just as it touches the cable right there, it pushes it back and hits the fork stop. So I don't know if you can see that, but it just barely pushes it back. So you don't have to worry about this being crushed, because if you give it one hit on this, and it's done, it doesn't work right. And you hit it 3 or 4 times, you're really done. You got nothing but problems after that. Alright, so there you go. That's how you do the front wheel. It only took a few hours. So what time is it now? It's well, it's not even tomorrow yet. It's only 11:20. Started about 7. So yeah, 3.5 hours almost. Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure I'll get paid for all those hours, right? Alright, that's it for now.